But many people seem not to be aware of how much technology has been developed under security. I spent 14 years of my life working on classified advanced research and development programs. They touch every aspect of advanced technology. And not only are there classified programs whose existence is known but whose details are classified, but they're also what are known as black programs, black budget items. These are items that are funded somehow without congressional oversight. How big are these programs? A Pulitzer Prize-winning author named Tim Weiner has written an exciting, extremely well-documented book, Blank Check, the Pentagon's Black Budget. He makes a convincing case that the annual black budget, not under congressional control, has been running about $35 billion. About half for technology, stealth fighters, stealth aircraft, and Lord knows what else, and about half for intelligence. And certainly the intelligence community is involved with flying saucers. That's been true from the beginning. Let me give you some demonstrations of that. A group of us called Citizens Against UFO Secrecy, back in the late 70s, went after the CIA, everybody's favorite target, of course. We want all your UFO information. They said, we don't have any UFO information. You do too. We do not. We appeal. They deny. We go to court. There's a procedure under Freedom of Information. The judge asked that they do a search. They did a very limited search. They suddenly found 900 pages of material. Not terribly exciting, none of it above secret. I've been to 15 different government archives. Loads of top secret stuff has been declassified. Lots hasn't as well. Anyway, more important than the 900 pages of information was a list of 57 documents which they found dealing with UFOs, but that came from other agencies, and so they couldn't release them. Everybody and his brother was collecting data about flying saucers. The CIA, of course, was, but the OSI, the DIA, the ONI, FBI, Department of State. Most interesting were 18 documents from the National Security Agency. Now, they only give dates. We don't know what's in the documents. So we file a Freedom of Information request to the National Security Agency. And I have to understand, they're the big boys on the block. They spend about $10 billion a year of that black budget. It's a good name for it. And they employ, according to the Washington Post, 160,000 people. And yet half the people in my lecture audiences have never heard of the NSA. No such agency is the inside joke. Anyway, we've dutifully filed a Freedom of Information request with the NSA. We want these 18 documents as listed by the CIA. We get a page-and-a-half letter back saying we can't give anybody anything. Public law prevents us from releasing any information about sources and methods of intelligence. We say we don't want sources and methods, just the UFO data. We can't give you anything. We appeal. They deny. We go to court. The judge asked that they do a search. Now, we only knew about 18 NSA UFO documents. They come back to the judge. He says, how many documents did you find, gentlemen? 239, Your Honor, from 18 to 239. But 79 of those documents originate with other agencies. We can't release them. Interestingly enough, 23 of those documents were from the CIA, but hadn't been found by the CIA when they did their search. Okay, that's fine. That leaves 160 NSA UFO documents. We'll take those. We can't give you anything, you guys. They said, gentlemen, you don't seem to understand. We're talking national security here. We can't give you anything. We're going around in circles. So we tried a legal ploy that had been done before in other cases. We asked that they submit the documents to Judge Gerhard Giselle, the federal court judge, so that he could determine whether they are properly invoking national security. They absolutely refused to show him any of the documents. However, they provided him with a 21-page top secret plus affidavit justifying the withholding. He saw it in camera, that is in his chambers with a special clearance. Naturally, our lawyer didn't get to see that affidavit. The judge was so impressed with that he ruled in their favor. They should not release their 156 UFO documents. That the public interest in disclosure, he said, was far outweighed by the potential danger to the security of the United States should this information be released. National security and flying saucers. We appealed to the Federal Court of Appeals. They have oral and written hearings. The judges normally take 2 months to make their decision. They were shown the same 21-page top secret plus affidavit. and they agreed with the lower court. Supreme Court wouldn't hear the case. We filed a Freedom of Information request for the 21-page top secret plus affidavit, and eventually we got it. And we expected some censorship in it, and there was. And as one turns the pages, one begins to see that almost all of it is blacked out. About 75 to 80% of that document has been blacked out. Now, the judge saw it clean. We didn't. And no, it's not illegal for them to do that. National security is one of the exemptions from freedom of information. Anybody who says no government agency is withholding UFO information simply isn't telling the truth. Now, there's a footnote to the story. I had naturally filed with the CIA for their 23 UFO documents as discovered by the NSA when they did their search. Now, they're supposed to respond in 10 working days. It took them 35 months to respond. I suppose that means they worked 10 minutes a day. I don't know. But when they did respond, they agreed to release 9 of those 23 documents. I was excited until I looked at them. They were press abstracts of Eastern European newspaper articles about flying saucers, which the Russians had the day they were published. Their own 14 documents they refused to release. They tried to discourage me from appealing. I appealed anyway. 2 years later, they responded to my appeal. They agreed to release tiny portions of 3 of the documents. Now, this is a released CIA UFO document. There are 8 words that you can read on the document. 8 words, and they're not exciting words. Title, doc reference, info location, info date, string of numbers. Now, admittedly, these guys have a kind of sense of humor, you might say. This document says, deny in toto. Couldn't even find 8 words on the page to release, as if this weren't denied in toto. Anybody who says government agencies aren't withholding UFO information isn't telling you the truth.